Gulliver, we understand that there's a demonstration underway where you are. What can you tell us?
Well, actually, the demonstration seems to have been dispersed by the police quite politely, but the police came and told the people who were here, there was only about 20 of them, that they should move on. They had some discussions and then they went to the other side of the square, and I'm not sure how far they've gone away now, but they were just behind me, and it was mainly wives, friends, one mother at least, of fighters who are in that Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol, and one man who said that he was the father of one of those fighters. And it really seems like they come here out of desperation. What they told me is just that they want to attract international and national Ukrainian attention to the plight of the fighters who are in Azovstal. Many of them are severely wounded. Their lives are actually threatened by injuries that would not normally be life-threatening, but there are no medical facilities down there, really. They are seriously running out of even the most basic provisions. But when I asked people what they thought could actually be done, one woman said, well, it's going to take a miracle actually to get them out. Others, though, are proposing practical things. This idea of extraction, whereby the fighters would be taken to a third country and basically they would be prisoners there, as it were, until the end of the war. They're unwilling to give themselves up as prisoners to the Russians because they say that they think the Russians would simply kill them. Some of the fighters in Azovstal have expressed the opinion that they actually think a military solution is possible, and certainly the mother of one of the soldiers who was here, who was really extremely upset and desperate, she was clearly calling for some kind of military solution. But the Ukrainian government has said that it simply doesn't think that that is possible. Mariupol is surrounded by Russian forces, and the nearest Ukrainian-held territory is something like 100 kilometers away from the city.
Well, Gulliver, meanwhile, Russia is stepping up attacks across the country. What's the latest on the ground?
Well, I've been hearing about Russian rocket attacks in really various different corners of Ukraine, including Chernihiv region in the far north on the border there. That's a region that the Russian forces had occupied part of, but then withdrew from, or were forced out from there by Russian forces. But there's been a strike on the border and apparently some casualties there. Also in Zaporizhia, it's not clear whether the missile hit its target or was brought down by a Ukrainian surface-to-air missile. But in any case, there are also casualties in Zaporizhia due to a rocket strike further to the south in Zelenodolsk and Dnipropetrovsk region. So these attacks really reminding Ukrainians that they can't be sure that anywhere in the country is safe, as Russia continues its campaign of striking what it deems to be strategic or military targets. But we never really know whether Russia is hitting those targets, whether or not there are whether there's military equipment somewhere in these places that they're striking. It's very hard to know what the real rationale is, because of course Ukraine is trying as best as it can to hide the military equipment that it's being supplied with from Western countries while it's trying to transport it to the front line.
Okay, our regional correspondent Gulliver Cragg reporting for us from Kyiv. Gulliver, thanks a lot.